Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. And this is Darian's Corner. My name is Darian, and I talk about all things food, a little bit of travel, and some lifestyle. If this is your first time, thank you so much for clicking on this video. But please don't forget to like, to subscribe, turn on your notification, and please share this video if you love it. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my Gizdodo. This is like the fast way I make it. I'm going to be using plantains, and of course I will be using gizzard. So the first thing I do is to boil my gizzard, and my gizzard has been pre-boiled and I'm just cutting it into cubes. So if you want to check out how I season my meat, please just click on the link in this video and you can see how to season the gizzard. I use basically ginger, garlic, poultry seasoning, and some onions, a lot of onions as well. And I've diced all my gizzard up, and I'm gonna just get some oil and I'll be deep frying the gizzard in the oil. And while that is going on, I'm gonna start off cutting my plantains. But let's put in the gizzard in the hot oil first, and then we can go ahead to cut our plantains. Gizzard is frying. I'm gonna go ahead to cut my plantains. You want to try to use ripe plantains for this recipe because the ripe plantain just tastes different. It gets a little bit more moist and more juicy than if it wasn't ripe. And I'm just going to cut this as well into cubes, and the trick is to slice this into a long slice, like slice it into half and then you cut it on the other side. So cut vertically, and then you now begin to slice horizontal, and then you get that cube shape. Otherwise, if you want to use a chopper, you can go ahead and use a chopper, but I'm just using the knife because it's just easier for me to do. And then you season your plantains. Usually when I'm frying my plantains, I don't really add salt. But for this particular recipe, you just want to add a little bit of salt to coat the plantains properly. And then you're going to be deep frying this just like you did for the gizzard. But before we deep fry the plantain, we have to get our gizzard out of the oil first. And you can see that the color of the oil has really changed because of the frying of the gizzard. And this is actually chicken gizzard, by the way. So it's not cow gizzard, it's chicken gizzard. So fun fact, the gizzard is actually the part of the stomach within a chicken. But I think also for cows, there's actually the gizzard part of the cow as well. It's like the rumen of the cow. And the thing is that not everyone really eats gizzard. You find that in some stores in Canada, you wouldn't be able to find frozen chicken gizzard. And that's because a lot of people don't, eat it, especially the Caucasians. They don't eat the internal part of any part of an animal, internal part of an animal. If it's not like the beef, then they're not going to be eating it. So you won't really find gizzards in most stores in Canada. There's some stores that carry it, like Superstore would carry it. Walmart also might carry it, but I know for sure you get in Superstore. You can also get in some other Asian store like TNT would carry it. So I'm actually grilling. I'm actually deep frying the plantains now, and you can see that the plantains was very ripe, and you'd see that as you fry it because it's going to be soft, and you want that softness for this particular recipe. my plantains. It's golden brown, so I'm gonna be getting it out of the oil. And yeah, that's about it for the deep frying of the plantains. So using the same pan, I'm going to transfer a little bit of oil, and please ignore the pan. This is like my go-to deep frying pan. So I'm going to be transferring some oil there, and I have this stew base. So this is like my everyday jollof base, and I'm going to be putting the link there for my smoky jollof rice. So the stew base of this jollof recipe is what I've used. So make sure you check it out if you are thinking about, the stew. I'm not going to be showing you how I made the stew base. Just check out my jollof rice recipe. It needs some love, so please go ahead and check it out. So I'm gonna be putting in the gizzard in the stew base, and really this Gizdodo is more like a stewed fusion of gizzards and plantain, and that combo is really slapping. It's bad. So yeah, it's not every day I make this because it tends to be a little bit fattening, but all the same, because of the deep frying. But then once in a while, especially when we're having like parties or get together, I try to make it. Yep. So you put the gizzard, you put the plantains, and you allow this to cook on your gas on your stove rather, for about maybe another 10-15 minutes. So the next thing you want to do is to slice some onions and peppers, and this is actually optional. If you're having guests or folks within your house that don't like onions, not everyone likes to see onions in their food. So if you are that kind of person, then please just by all means skip this. I love onions, and this was just for folks that loved onions and pepper. But if you don't like it, please just skip it. It's not compulsory that you add that. And so you allow that to cook a little bit. You still want it to be a little bit crunchy, not soggy. So just cook for another 5 minutes. And that's it, guys. This is the finished look of my Gizdodo. So for this Gizdodo, it's yummy, it's delicious. There's not a lot of stew, like the stew is not flowing out of the Gizdodo. It's the plantain has soaked in the stew, the gizzard has soaked in the stew, and it's just the perfect Gizdodo. And it's also very easy to make. It's something that you can easily flip within a short period of time if you haven't guests coming. So that's about it. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, to like this video, to share it, and if you want to see more of this type of content, don't forget to turn on your notifications. Thank you. Bye.